Hi, my name is Marla, and if you love crafting, then I love you. Apples, pumpkins, pears, and plums, aren't we glad when fall finally comes? I'm so excited to be a part of Heidi Sonboul's DIY Fall Challenge. You can find a link to the playlist in the description box, and be sure and check out Heidi Sonboul DIY for some great ideas. DIY number 1 are apples and pears. I found this ceramic pear at a thrift store along with this wood apple, and we're going to sand it down a bit and then paint it with some plaster Waverly chalk paint. We'll give it 2 good coats. Next, we're going to mix some Martha Stewart gold metallic paint and folk art metallic bronze paint together. And with that, we will dry brush on the apple and the pear until we get the desired look. They make a nice addition to my corner in the kitchen. DIY number 2 is a chalkboard apple. I took this sign from Dollar Tree, and I'm making a base for it using tumbling tower blocks and a wood plank from Dollar Tree. Once I have the base hot glued together, I used some chalkboard paint, the blackboard paint from Dollar Tree. It has really good coverage, and I coated the back side of the sign, as well as the base. Once the sign was dry, I primed it with a piece of chalk and then gently erased it. Next, I replaced the leaf that was already on the apple and tied a piece of chalk to a piece of jute and tied it through the hole at the top. Using one of these green truck ornaments, I removed the sunflowers from the back and replaced them with some Christmas berries I found in my Christmas stash. Now we have a truck full of apples. DIY number 3 is an apple crate that I got from Michael's on clearance for about $1. I'm using Waverly antique wax to stain the entire piece. Once the crate was dry, I used my Cricut Joy to cut out a decal that says Logan County Produce. That's a nod to my home county in Arkansas, Pears, Arkansas, and Logan County. And I didn't show cutting that out because it was a complete mess. I've had a hard time with removable vinyl. DIY number 4 is a pumpkin turned into an apple. I used one of the pumpkins, the wood pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I sanded off the glitter, and there you see my supervisor. That's Stormy, and Georgia sitting in the chair with me. She's my assistant. I painted the whole thing with crimson paint from Waverly. I put about 3 good coats on it and then sanded down the edges just to get kind of a rustic, worn look. I used my Silhouette Cameo and cut out a decal with CS for Creation Station. I plan to put this on my pegboard in my craft room. DIY number 5 is a palette of apples. I'm using the wood apples from Dollar Tree, and I'm coloring them red, green, and yellow. I'm simply putting some paint in a bowl with a little bit of water and then just rolling the apples around in there until they are good and coated. I then put them on a paper towel to drain and dry, and then I did this about 3 times before I got them all coated to my satisfaction. Next, I'm using some Waverly wax to stain the palette, mainly just on the front side. I did use a little brush to get into the cracks and crevices on that front side, as well as one of Dollar Tree's furniture paint pens. Next, I used some brown paint to paint the apple stems. Then we're going to hot glue the apples to the top of the apple crate. I also did another cutout on my Cricut Joy that says apples 5 cents. DIY number 6 is an interchangeable coffee sign. I got this coffee sign from Dollar General, and I removed the bow and then chose just to paint over that center section. And I believe I'm using Waverly plaster. Using several different wood cutouts from Dollar Tree that I had on hand from last year, I'm going to add scrapbook paper to them. I'm going to sand them off, and I'm going to add Velcro to the back so that we can switch them out for each season. And here's a look at all the cutouts I used. DIY number 7 is a Simply Blessed pumpkin sign. I used the Simply Blessed calendar from last year. I made a pattern for inside the frame and cut the Simply Blessed sign out to fit. I cut a cork in half to be used as the pumpkin stem. I used some white paint to paint both ends of the sign because the calendar page didn't quite fit all the way to the edge. I used a glue stick and glued it right into the frame. I'm going to use some of the Waverly wax to stain the pumpkin stem or the cork. I'm then going to hot glue some leaves and the cork to the top of the frame. DIY number 8 is a painted decoupaged pumpkin. I got this pumpkin from Walmart last year and decoupaged a napkin on it. But this year I decided I wanted to go with a more neutral color. So I'm using Waverly plaster, chalk paint, and coating the whole thing, I think about 2 coats. I failed to record the next part, but once the pumpkin was painted completely white, I dry brushed Waverly pumpkin and Waverly celery on the whole pumpkin, and I also used a sponge to go back and kind of add some color here and there, just so it wasn't a completely white pumpkin. I had 3 of these pumpkins, so I did the same thing on all 3 of them. And here they are displayed in my hallway. Thanks for watching today, and be sure and check out the playlist in the description box for Heidi Sonboul's Fall Challenge. If you see anything you like today, I would appreciate you giving me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and share. Until next time, I wish you peace, health, and sunshine.